All right. So let's cover the cash flow in the next couple of minutes. It's never enough, but at least let's give an idea. So now we know how many pieces we are gonna somewhat going to sell. So therefore we must stock up for. So how do you connect that to the cash flow?
Now, again, I don't know, you like scenario. I love your examples of what's my payment terms to my manufacturer. That's a factor. Whether you have to pay on nobody, I don't know, nobody factors in, or nobody finances manufacturing as much as they used to these days, from what I understand. Is that still true?
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're manufacturing in China, they want payment upfront.
Exactly. So that's the one thing. So the biggest thing is the forecast we just built, the P&L, the P&L we set out, the forecasting model that we just discussed will inform you of a cash flow. You can see your pure cash coming in and out of the business. And then you have to kind of go, when do I have to pay the piper? And am I going to be a squirrel and I make all my money in 3 months or 2 months, and I'm going to have to last for 8 months, 9 months. So if you have history, it's the scenario you talked about, right? It's great if you have cash flow history, because you can factor that in. The other thing is, who's financing a lot of it? And I talk a lot about, from an advertising side on Seller Central on Amazon, I can make an argument that there should be no spend budget if it's returning and doing everything and hitting every metric, right? I can make that argument, sure. The other thing is, they're typically financing your ad spend because it comes off your sales. It's not a check you are having to send. It's not an out-of-pocket expense. So if that still service the profit and P&L, if it services your forecast, it serves all things, let them handle the cash flow. That's a big cash flow advantage. It really is. So then if you're borrowing on 30 days, or if you've got credit cards and you're rolling this stuff, you have to build out a projected forecast and then an actual of what your net at the EBITDA, if you want to use that, what the cash and what the cash flow is. And you want to put that out 12 months, 18 months. That's what I usually did. And you forecast it, and then you have to put the actual in, because it'll identify hiccups. It'll identify if there's going to be rough months. Then you can think through, okay, how do I try to protect myself against those lean months where the cash flow is going to be, it's just going to be what it is. It's just terrible. So you can plan for that.
So you want to hear my approach?
Yes, I'm dying.
This is very different.
Okay, very different. Sorry.
So this is what I do. So I say this. First of all, it all starts with what we covered at the beginning: above the line, below the line. We're not getting into below the line because they have fixed costs, your rent, whatever. So we're not getting into that. So we're looking at above the line. Above the line, let's assume that you've done your homework and you've achieved a good contract to negotiate your buying price, and you've got a good price on the item that you're selling it for and everything else, and then you have 20% net before the below the line items. 20% net you are achieving. So this is what I do. 20% translates into how much in dollars? Okay. Right. So I say, okay, how many units are you selling? So let's assume that you sell 1,000 units. Let's make it simple, per month, 1,000 units. What's your price point? Let's say that you've also done a good job on that and you priced it $50. Okay. Same example, $50. So that means $10 you generated in cash, liquidity. Let's not get into below the line. That will consume a little bit of it, but let's keep it at for.
You're making me nervous, Nick, but go ahead.
$10, okay? $10.
$10. Okay. I got $10.
Now, you got $10 in your pocket. At the end of the month, you put $10 in your pocket. Now, 20%, we said that we were going to buy it for. we pay $10 for the item as well. Okay,